Lovely people, welcome back to my channel and thank you for tuning in. Today I want to share the 7 steps to building wealth by Dave Ramsey, and he called it 7 baby steps. And I felt like this is pretty good in terms of guideline, and for those of you who like blueprints and also just directions to how to get to financial independence, I think these are really good steps to start with. So let's get to it. Baby step number 1, save $1,000 for your emergency fund. And the reason why emergency fund is necessary because life happens and it's unpredictable. Your car broken down, your house got flooded. I mean, anything could go wrong. Kind of like Murphy's Law, expect things to go wrong. So always have a nest egg of some emergency fund to start with. Baby step number 2, using the snowball debt effects to pay off all your debt except for mortgage. So for those out there, we've talked a lot about student loans. So this is the snowball effects, essentially talking about how you pay the highest interest, really focus, laser focus on your largest debt and pay it off as soon as possible, and just really be able to make sure that you pay down those loans. And when I say student loan, it could be also credit card loan, and you will want to look at the one that has the highest interest rate, because that means it will take a lot more interest and time to pay off those high interest. I know sometimes, like for me, I do the snowball effects for my student loan for sure, but if there is only $1,000 left in one of my other debt, what I do just to celebrate the small win, I would actually pay off the one that has lower interest, just to make me feel good psychologically that, oh yes, I score one more debt down, and like that's done and out and checked off. So sometimes if you need some of those celebrating the small wins and psychological give you this boost, by all means go for it. Baby step number 3 is having 3 to 6 months of expenses and savings. Again, anything can happen, and jobs wise, it's not always guaranteed. So if you unfortunately get laid off or whatever, you will also have some buffer room, 3 to 6 months, just to keep a roof over your house, food on the table for you, for your significant other, or if you have kids. So especially if you have kids, it's essentially do 3 to 6 months. Again, break it down to start out with 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So don't think of like, wow, I have to come up with the 6 months. So think of your big goal and then go into the individual steps to say, this is my year goal. How we're going to break it down in quarter and down into by monthly and bi-weekly. So for example, if your goal is to save $5,000 for your first month of expenses, then okay, so what do I have to do by week 1, week 2, week 3 to really achieve the overall goal of your first year as $5,000, right? So that could mean, all right, no longer eating out. Maybe eat out instead of twice a month, only once a month. Or whatever it is that you're doing, your expenses, be able to cut it down to save towards your emergency fund. Another thing you also want to consider is not necessarily what you can cut out, but what you can also generate income in terms of side hustle. So let's say you really max out everything from your budget based on your current salary. What can you do on the side hustle to really provide extra revenue and then just use all that money and save it up? So think about revenue generating aspect, but also expense cutting. Baby step number 4 is invest 15% of household income into a Roth IRA and pre-tax retirement. So I've created several videos talking about the retirement account. So if you are eligible for Roth, I would recommend to start now, because with Roth it has a income limit per IRS. So I would go and check on IRS, like for 1 year is $6,000, the next year is $6,500, and of course if you're over 55 it went a little higher. It varies every year, so I would recommend to go to irs.gov, or is it irs.com? Go to the IRS website, and it has the limit for you to, based on your income, single versus married. Like for this year in 2019, the joint married the joint married account max is $204,000, and if you make more than that, then you're not eligible for a direct contribution. However, there's always an option to do a backdoor Roth IRA, which means that you get into a traditional IRA and then you convert it over to a Roth. But let's say you convert $50,000 of traditional Roth IRA, you're going to pay tax on that $50,000. So that will increase your income limits, hence potentially increase your tax brackets. So just be very careful how you want to and how much you want to convert over if you're not eligible for direct contribution. Next, for those with kids, baby step number 5 is a college fund for your kids. So I have another video previously posted on starting at 529. The best time to start is day 1 when they come to this beautiful world. So definitely start, and when you have time on your end, meaning they're literally a newborn, you open, because you need a social security to open a 529 account. Look out there on various accounts. You don't have to buy the college fund from your state. You can actually buy it from another state. In my case, I bought the New York college fund, or I invest in the New York 529 college fund. So you don't have to be limited to your state itself. And some states out there provide tax deductible for college fund, not all. So just check with your local state's laws to make sure if this is something that is good. But overall, regardless it's deductible or not, I would recommend just go ahead and put in as little as $20 to $50 if you have money, $500, $1,000. I believe there is a maximum on the 529 of $10,000 per year, but of course that's when everything else is good, right? The hardest thing is to start. So just even $100 a month, 18 years down the road, that is quite gonna be a quite number of savings for your kids' college fund. Especially if you have multiple kids, then you may need to start or have multiple college fund. Baby step number 6 is pay off your home early. And this is for those that are having a mortgage and really trying to focus on paying off your mortgage. Just note that your first mortgage, your first house, is not an asset but a liability, because anything that requires you to put money out of your pocket is a liability, right? However, it is your first home and you don't have to worry about paying the monthly mortgage anymore. So that's something to consider and where you are financially. And lastly, you want to build wealth and give. So really just focus on your why. Like, why do you want to be financially stable? I know it sounds really simple, but you really want to focus on your why do you want to be financially stable? What is your burning desire? What is it about financial independence that drives you? And for example, for me is I have the little one, Ryzen, and he is so cute. He's 10 months old, and I really want to spend a lot of time with him. And I think a lot about financial freedom and financial independence, and especially with the college fund and the emergency fund, because now I can eat beans out of a can if I need to, but he can't. So as a parent, you require more vested interest and more extra in advance planning and just having more time and flexibility with him. So it's really important for you to consider, why is it important for you to be financially stable? Do you want to set a good example, being a role model for your kids, as well as for your spouse? And I think anything that you start out with, I think it's really important that you have a strong why, because when time gets tough, you're gonna give up, and if you have a strong enough why, you will keep going no matter what happens. And especially for those with kids out there, I know it's always motivating to see them grow and also invest in them, and you want to provide for them in the best way possible. So make sure you guys also come up with a strong why. Stay tuned for another video. I'll be posting on a strategic family sessions, focusing really be open and transparent with your spouse or significant other regarding financial planning, just career, talking about the big things, right, that affect both of you and in return affecting your kids. I hope you enjoy this video, and I would love to hear what other comments, experiences that you have had, and I hope that will be helpful to others as you commenting. Thank you and ciao.